All right, so we've officially returned for another 99 nights in the forest update. Today we've got ourselves two brand new classes, as well as of course the big owl update, which basically is like the whole new enemy that everybody's chasing after right now, or I guess in this case avoiding. But specifically what I want to do in this video is to go over the brand new classes just really quickly for those of you that are just jumping in, maybe trying to get some opinions on whether you should or you shouldn't get these. Let's go ahead and start off with the cheaper one here, being Base Defender. This is one that a lot of people are probably not going to be getting just because base defense and all that stuff are just not really used very often. Nobody really likes it. Although I'm not gonna lie, the levels for this does sort of add a new aspect to it. Like for example, starting with level 2 and this class, you can go ahead and actually upgrade the defenses, which is kind of nice. Don't really know how interesting that can get. Maybe the defenses actually turn pretty cool and more durable, obviously, because if we take a look at level 3 down here, it says defenses you place deal higher damage. So let's go ahead and equip this, jump in game really quick, take a look at what the upgrades are, how much they're going to cost, as well as what they even look like and just sort of how they work, I guess. And then we'll be right back and we'll check out the other new class, which is Berserker down here. Now, for a little more context, because I did sort of forget to mention this, I believe that this class is 40 gems or 45. I can't really remember right now. So it's definitely one of the more affordable ones. But as we mentioned before, when you go ahead and jump in game with this class, you will start off instantly with a defense blueprint. So we're going to go ahead and put this down just to get a general idea on what this is going to look like. So right there, now we have the option to go ahead and upgrade this for 3 scrap. So let's go ahead and grab some scrap here. And I guess let's see if it has sort of like a physical look to upgrading this. All right, so we went ahead and got the scrap. Let's see what this looks like when we upgraded the first time here. Okay, so it does change the physical appearance of it. Now, is there a second upgrade? Doesn't look like there is. It looks like there's only one upgrade that can be done to it. So in comparison, here is a non-upgraded version. Here is the upgraded version. Just a little bit darker in every aspect, the wood as well as even the barbed wire. Now, this has nothing to do with the classes, but there is a basketball course here, so now I can actually show you guys really quickly that you can actually play basketball now here. Totally off topic, I know, and literally has nothing to do with the classes, but I thought I would include it into the video. Now, really, the only other thing that we can test here is obviously the durability of this. So we're going to have to wait until our first night of the cultists go ahead and attack, just sort of run them through here over and over again to see just how many hits it can actually take. If I'm not mistaken, I think the barbed wire non-upgraded version has something as ridiculous as like maybe, I don't even know, like 8 or 9 hits, something like that, before it completely breaks and disappears. Oh, on a side note, we found the researcher. So it looks like for 1 feather, she'll go ahead and give us some fuel. Kind of interesting. That'll obviously be for a separate video, though. We're going to go ahead and talk a little bit more about the owl, as well as check all of that out. All right, so we've got the cultists coming in right now. Unfortunately, this is the first time, so there's only going to really be 2 of them, which is not probably going to be enough to really test these out. On top of that, because of the fact that I do have level 3 of this class, it does do higher damage with these actual defense blueprints, so it's kind of important to keep that in mind. I'm curious to see just how much more damage it actually does. Let's see. They're gonna walk through it now. It isn't like the craziest amount more, so there's that. And yeah, that was pretty much it. On the plus side, they are both still very much standing, and I want to say that they both took just as many hits. So I guess let's wait for the next cultist attack. Oh my god, no way. The bird's chasing after me now. Oh god. Well, there's the owl. Basically, when the owl touches down, you need to make sure not to move, or else he chases after you. Thankfully, the flashlight still works. But there he is right there. So yeah, the flashlight still works on him, but unfortunately, not moving wasn't an option for me because I was also being chased by a wolf. Well, I was definitely not expecting to be chased by that. But we did get ourselves our first feather here because of that, so we can actually go trade this in for some fuel. Let's see what happens here. So we got fuel, and it filled up the research bar. Not sure exactly what happens when you fill up the entire research bar, but at least we got ourselves some fuel. All right, here we go. Attempt number 2. Cultists are coming in. Unfortunately, we do have one that shoots over here, so we're going to have to take him out first. There we go. Now we can sort of focus up here on the testing. Get them sort of to walk through both of them for the most part. Okay, so right there, they still lasted, even taking out those 3. So now we're at a total of 5 that have been destroyed by both of these gates. I'm not gonna lie, the left one took a lot more damage than the right one, but let's see, man. At some point, these are gonna have to fail. All right, let's see if third time is a charm. Cultists are coming in now for the third time. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to take out the rangers here really quick. There should only be one, so I think we're pretty good. Let's see how long these can stay standing up here. All right, so there goes the base one. This one is still holding up pretty well. Yeah, it did very well. But I mean, the real question is it going to be worth it to the point where people are actually going to go ahead and start using this class? Probably not. I don't really see many people using this. To my understanding, this is definitely not an infinite thing. Like, just because you upgrade it, it's going to be there forever now. It does still have a durability, and it will still unfortunately break. So kind of the unfortunate side of this. And to be honest, the next class that we're going to go over, which is Berserker, is really not any better. I'm going to explain to you guys in just a second. Let's go ahead and switch over to that. So at first glance, Berserker seems like a really good class, especially when you take into consideration the fact that at just level 1, after your first death, you get an auto revive with low HP and hunger. When you read that very, very quickly, it sounds like a good idea. You're like, oh, dude, I get rebirths? Like, that's awesome. Except that it literally specifically says only your first death. So I'm going in with this. I have not tested yet, but I'm going in with this that it will only revive me one time. Now, besides this, level 2 goes ahead and gives us a boost to our strength for a short duration of time when we do end up reviving, which is going to be useful because obviously we're going to be reviving with low HP already and low hunger. And realistically, whatever took us out is probably going to be standing around us. For level 3, it says deal higher damage as your HP gets lower. This one could actually be useful for an entire playthrough if you really think about it. But the real question is it going to be enough of a damage boost to where it's worth it to actually use this class? Let's find out. All right, so all I've got right now is pretty much just a good axe. So if I go ahead and do a little bit of damage here, you guys will notice that we're doing about, I don't know, maybe like 15% damage. Now, obviously, this isn't the most efficient way, and you do start off with this class with a med kit. So even if we were to go ahead and just die right now, technically speaking, when we come back to life, we will be able to go ahead and there we go. We revived. We can pick up our med kit here, heal ourselves back up to full. And then we're sort of running really, really fast for a short period of time, really. And we're doing not really like an insane amount more damage. But dude, the fast running is kind of nice. I'm not going to lie. How long is this going to last for? Let's just sort of run around here for a bit and see how long this lasts for. Oh, that's it. It's gone. So that was, I don't know, maybe like 10, 15 more seconds than Chili, for example. You do start off with some really, really low health and hunger. So you definitely need to sort of not waste any time and get to finding at the very least some food. And the damage bonus is really not all that crazy. Plus, it lasts the same amount of time as that fast running. So you'll definitely know when the damage bonus is gone. But yeah, unfortunately, that is pretty much it for these two new classes. We spent a lot more time on the first one than really on this second one. Let me know in the comment section if you guys are going to be wanting to get any of these. I do feel like the more popular one here is going to be Berserker. But then at the same time, I feel like when people spend the 100 gems, they're gonna be kind of disappointed. Hopefully, if you're watching this video, I did go ahead and help you out and you save yourself those gems for a much better class. But either way, I'll be reading the comment section. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one where we go ahead and talk a little more in depth about the new owl enemy. Take care.